Hey there, and thank you for tuning into another question and answer session here on the blog. Now, each week I answer your questions. If you've got one, go ahead and send it to me. You can DM me on Instagram at dr.tracyd or fill out a form on the blog site here, drtracyd.com/blog. I love the community that we are building here, and I love hearing from you. Let's dive into this week's question, and this is about wondering how to deal with their husband, their partner, who is really close to their mother, and that he tells her everything, and this is really hard. And so, wondering what we can do around this situation. Now, one of the things that I view couples as doing is that we separate from our own families and we then build our own family and we become a united front. Now, this doesn't mean that we cut family members out. Sometimes we might have to do that. But what this means is that you and your partner are a united front and that you guys must come first to build a strong and healthy relationship. And so that if there is ever anything that is uncomfortable or doesn't feel good, or there needs to be some boundary setting, this is something that needs to be done between the two of you and not within your family. So it has to become this a priority first. Now, I can remember working with a couple where there was a similar situation. We know that our families do become a point of contention for couples. And it was incredibly powerful for this couple to start to recognize that they had to prioritize each other and that all decisions were made together as a unit. You guys have this couple bubble. So then what do we do going forward? So I'm wondering, does your partner know how you feel? Now, sometimes we share with our partner things that we don't want them to do, but we're not clear about where that's coming from or what the need is for that. So what specifically is difficult about what the partner is sharing with their mother and the result of that? And also, how is that impacting your relationship together? So is it affecting your intimacy? Is it affecting your closeness and trust? Is it affecting that feeling like you guys are together working as a couple in this space? Now, one of the things that you would want to consider moving forward, and this is going to be a space of compromise together because you need to consider that you both have two different opinions around this, are what are your boundaries? And you'll have to talk about this together and learn how to compromise through this. So, a boundary might be I don't want you to tell your mother about the conversations that we have with regards to our relationship, or with our finances, or with our decisions around parenting. That might be a boundary for you. And it would be important to be able to share with your partner why you hold that boundary and what's important about that. I would also wonder if there is something that your partner is getting out of sharing all of this information with their mother, and if they need support. And is it a support that they can learn to come and turn to you for before then going to their mother? So again, when we're thinking about creating closeness and security and connection in our relationship, we need to be our go-to person first to be able to work through these things before then going out to our parents, which may be a space of familiarity and comfort and trust. If that is missing within the relationship, ask your partner, how can we start to build this and work together so that this can be a space where we turn to each other first rather than turning to other people? So making sure that you and your partner move forward together by setting boundaries that work for both of you is going to be really important for the health of your relationship. Now, when it comes to your own feelings within the relationship with your in-laws, this individual said that sometimes it feels really difficult because of how the mother-in-law approaches them. So this is something that sometimes we have to do our own work around in terms of how we can respond to other people, what boundaries we need to set. So if it's something about, say, for example, a parent wants to give advice around how to parent children, you might say, I don't need you to comment on those things, or you might say that it's not helpful, or you might choose to have a conversation around saying, I would prefer if you didn't make comments about our parenting choices, and that this is something that we are choosing to do together. These are tricky dynamics to manage in our relationships. And one of the things that I've noticed for men and women in relationships, I think is so important to talk about here, is that it is culturally acceptable for women to say to their mothers early on, I disagree, I don't like that about you, I hate you. It's almost promoted in our teenage years for women to be able to talk back to our mothers. And so we learn this separation piece earlier on. Now, for men, this tends to happen later on. And that separation from our parents of being able to say, no, mom, I don't want your opinion, I don't want your advice, tends to come later in life for men. You know, this is not based on research. This is more of a clinical experience that I see with people. And that is that it tends to come after marriage, after the first kid, or definitely after the second kid, where now the male partner in a heterosexual relationship needs to start setting firmer boundaries with their family in order to protect that united front within their relationship. So I say this here as a way to normalize the struggle that you are bumping up against, that this is something that is very common that I see in heterosexual relationships in terms of how we differentiate or how we are separate from our families of origin. I hope this provides some information for you to begin to tackle such a difficult conversation with your partner. If you and your partner are struggling, it is never too early to seek the help from a licensed mental health care provider to be able to navigate these difficult conversations that are showing up in your relationship. And I look forward to seeing you next time.